Hey everybody, I hope you are doing well. Today I want to show you the pool effect. When we garden, I garden in zone 8A in Georgia, and it is mainly red clay. And when we dig our holes, you have to be really aware of the soil you're working with. So since we work with red clay, you have to make sure you don't amend your hole very much, otherwise it will create what we call a pool effect. So basically the hole you just dug up and you put with nice soil that's loose, that you know the plants are gonna love, but it actually is detrimental to your plant because the red clay around it, if you amend it, it's gonna keep the water in that hole. So when it rains heavily like it does here in Georgia, it's gonna pool and then it's gonna stay there, and then that's where you get root rot, and your plants will have issues because it needs to breathe and basically it's drowning. So I want to show you what that looks like, and then, you know, just whatever you can do to prevent it, to give your plants a better start. So I'm going to turn the camera around, and basically you can look right here. So this is the pool effect. See how when you dig a hole, of course, if you amend the soil, which basically you put good soil in it that is drainable, and it has compost and it has all the yummy stuff that a plant should have. But because the area around it is red clay, when that clay hardens, if there's no rain, it hardens up, and then when you get a torrential downpour like we do in Georgia, the water stays in that hole for a couple of days, and of course that is detrimental to your plant. And it could take a couple days to drain, and then by that time you may get another torrential downpour, and then it's gonna basically fill up the hole again. So you try to prevent this, especially when you garden in the area that we garden in and with the soil that we have. So just make sure when you are digging your hole, preferably don't amend the soil just because it's red clay. Now, topsoil, you can, you know, once you dig the hole, then you backfill it with the native soil. Then on top of it, you can do a little bit of extra fluff, you know, topsoils or compost or whatever to help it on the top, and eventually it'll work down into the ground. But if you dig a hole and then you only fill it with the good yummy dirt that the plants love, this is what happens to it. And we just had a couple of days of torrential downpour. So you can see here, I mean, it's slowly receding, but this is definitely way too slow, and you don't want your plant to sit in there for a couple of days and then risk another rainstorm, and then it's going to sit in there again, and then it might be a whole week before it can actually breathe or drain. So best way to dig your plant, of course, here's other ones that are drainaged, so it's doing good. Look at all the tomatoes. Isn't that amazing? Those are the tomatoes. And then up here is the zucchini. I've already farmed some zucchinis already, but I've got more over here that is starting to come. Here's the one right there, and then there's a baby one over there, and I've got more coming, so that's exciting. You can see when they form. So there's male and female. The male, of course, is the one that will turn into zucchinis. You can see them right here. Can you see them? Right here and right here. And the females are the long, slender ones. The plant, they're this long, slender plant right here. Flower, actually. The long, slender flower that doesn't have the actual zucchini on it. So you can tell which one is the male and which one is the female. So, like if you look over here, there is a male right there because it's turning into a zucchini, and then this is the female. Isn't that exciting what you learn? Never knew. Sorry, I'm really bad with keeping labels for my plants. I just know basically what they are. That's zucchini. This, of course, is tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, regular one. I have asparagus here that I just let grew. There's really, like I said, not enough to really saute any. But I put a lavender in here to help track pollinators, to help, of course, pollinate all of the vegetables in here. And then over here is more cherry tomatoes doing well, along with jalapenos. Look, jalapenos for my jalapeno poppers. You guys see that? There's a couple, and then this one has a couple over here. Sorry, I'm gonna take this off the stand. Now I can get a closer look at the jalapenos down there. And basically, I did not grow as much vegetable as I did last year. Last year I actually had some cucumbers in here, as well as watermelon. But this year it's only going to be tomatoes, zucchinis, jalapenos, and of course my mayor's lemon. I'm excited about that. So I hope you guys got to see and understand what we mean when we say the pool effect. So, you know, especially if you garden in a zone that has sand, you don't have to worry about the pool effect because the sand helps to filter out the water. So you need actual stuff to keep your moisture in your soil. So you have the opposite effect of what we would have. You're trying to retain moisture when we are trying to drain our soil. This is my Bloomberg grapefruit. I'm trying to train it into a standard, which is a tree instead of more of a bush. I'm going to do a tree form. You can see it's doing well. It's producing new growth right up here at the edge, at the tip of it. So once it gets more leaf, I might continue to keep plucking the bottom just until maybe like right here. Because when we mow around this area, I want to make sure that I can get around the area without having to ruin any of the fruit. And then I want to show you really quickly my angel trumpet over here from a cutting. It's doing amazing. Look at all the new flower that's getting ready to bud. Can you see it? Here and here. Some more over here. Can't wait to see what it'll look like when it's actually going to bloom. The small one that I have out front that I did a video on definitely was really pretty. And then over here is my elephant ear. Isn't that big and beautiful? Look at it. So I never realized, but I guess elephant ear does produce a bloom. I've never seen it before, but here, down here is the bloom for it. I never noticed this. Sorry, the sun is in the way here. I'm going to try to block the sun. But can you see the bloom? And then inside of it is a little, I don't know, stamina. The flower or the head seed or whatever that is. So that's pretty cool. I guess I've never really noticed that it actually produced any kind of flower or bud or anything. But you can see on this one, it has 1, 2, and 3. So it must really like its spot. Because out of all the times I've had them, I've never seen it go to flower. So this will be my first time. If you have never seen it before, I guess that's what it looks like. Isn't that pretty cool though? And then this is just the raised bed that my husband made me for my Mother's Day present. So I'm pretty happy about it. I got some, this is my Rio Samba. I gave it a good pruning and you can see all the new growth it's sending. So it's okay to do the Chelsea chop or whatever they call that, because it'll flush back on you. This is sweet potato. It's actually a sweet potato. Like I planted, I think 2 sweet potato in the ground because they were getting too old and I didn't feel like eating them, so I planted them and there it goes. Not to say that every one of them will do this, but so far the ones that I planted in, I did it here and over on another side, and you can see it's going to trail down, so it'll look nice. And this is just a little raised bed. I'm going to eventually have to move this, what is this? Salvia. I just had a brain fart, sorry. So this is salvia. It's really pretty and I love it, but as you can see, the angel trumpet is starting to take over. So it's going to keep on growing and keep getting bigger. It's going to overshadow, and salvia requires almost full sunlight. So is this Miranda Lambert rose that I propagated from a cutting. I might have to move this one too. But if I keep the angel trumpet low enough, the rose might outgrow it. Anyways, I'm sorry, I am trailing off. As you can see, this is how my garden looks so far after all the rain that we've had. The hydrangeas are starting to come into its full glory. You can see that's a hydrangea panicle, a couple more panicles down there. Got some flower bed down there, and some more flower bed, but I'll do a tour of my garden and show you guys what's in bloom right now and what's already been spent, and then that way you can kind of gauge how to consecutive planting, so that you get different varieties of flower blooming all season and not just one kind of variety that blooms and then your garden kind of looks a little blah in the summer heat. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Have a great day. Bye.